It's Let's Go with Muddy Gnomes.
Let's go!
Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 6 of Let's Go with Muddy Gnomes.
Let's go!
I am here as usual with the OMG Arjan van der Schoot. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Chris, good to see you.
The amazing braided lady, Staci Baker.
That's me.
Looking gorgeous as
Thank
always. You. And we have our very first in-studio guest co-host. Is that what we're calling?
Yes.
Mr. Rodney Norman. That's you, Rodney.
Oh, me. Yeah, me. Hello.
Hello. Rodney,
Good to be here.
All the way from the northwest corner of Connecticut.
Yes.
Today, Rodney is joining us for episode 6 and some other cold water shenanigans. So welcome. So what are we talking about? We're talking about...
The cold facts.
The cold facts.
The cold fact.
What do you got?
The cold, hard facts of life.
There we go.
Oh, I like that.
Now I'm going to make that into a brand new effect. Cold facts. We just had some very cold facts outside in White River Junction immediately before our recording session, where Mr. Arjan van der Schoot set up not one but two ice baths on the sidewalk, much to the amusement of the general public. And what did we do? Like 5 or 6 or 7 people went in?
5 or 6 people, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
It was pretty good. Yeah, for a non-announced event.
Yeah.
It was good. And clearly, you know.
Yes.
Rodney, you went in. How did it feel?
Went in.
It felt spectacular to get out of it. It was. I didn't know what to expect, and so I just thought, well, let's just jump in and see what happens. And it was really cold.
Yep.
And then it was over. So it was it was great.
You
It
did
felt
really
good.
You did really good too. You kept breathing. You didn't freak out. You did really good.
It was a very zen. It was very zen.
Yeah.
Just
I
very-
was
Oh.
I was impressed. And I'm just curious, how did your nipples feel afterwards?
wonderful.
Yeah.
But they're still hard. I'll be honest with you. I can cut glass with these things.
Really? Owie.
That is the one thing we're taking away from this entire day.
You
We
know,
now know how to make Rodney Norman's nipples so hard you can cut glass with them.
the hardest they've been in years, I tell you.
I probably have a couple of tricks that could do that.
I would say I'd cut the spit out, but you know I won't.
Yeah. So of all the benefits
Look, it's
of the
working.
ice bath,
Telling you.
We, Rodney went in. Arjan, of course, went in at the
Yeah.
same time as
we
Rodney.
went in together. Yeah, that was a good moment.
I was,
Yeah.
I liked it.
I was a little jealous, but it's okay.
It's all right.
I went in
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you
did.
were like five,
we
6
actually-
minutes.
You did,
in.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time.
How are you feeling? Because I usually normally I do 2 or 3 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And I get warm fairly quickly. But if I sometimes do, for whatever reason, do 5 or 6 minutes, then I notice that it takes me considerably longer to warm up than how are you feeling?
I felt great while I was in, and I felt like I could have maybe stayed even longer than that. But I
Right.
will be perfectly honest, when I got out and I was in the changing room, I felt a little woozy.
Right.
Is that, or maybe that's just me?
No, I think
No.
that
I
makes
felt a
sense.
little-
No, that
Well,
happens.
that would make sense.
Oops. Is my head in his shot?
No.
Just another inch.
No, it's good.
What? Another
Right there,
inch that
right
way?
there.
Yeah,
That's
there you
good,
go.
that's good.
There you go.
We have, how many cameras are we shooting with today?
6 cameras
6.
today.
And this is the bit in the edit where I flash
Yes.
around all 6 of them just to
Yeah.
just to prove it. Yeah, I felt a little woozy,
Yeah.
but that's
So
fine.
what's happening is the blood's going back out where it restricted from, right? So that big rush can actually cause, like your blood pressure can go down a little bit.
Right.
You can, so it's always good to
The
breathe.
wooziness
after.
was my penis filling back up.
Probably. That didn't take long though, right?
Didn't take much blood there.
Blink of an eye. Yeah, so that was good. Who else went in? The chap from Tuckerbox.
Yeah, Angelus, he went in.
Angelus went in.
He,
Quick one.
Yeah, he's good. Every time we almost every time we set up and he's there,
Yeah.
he'll do a quick dip.
And
And-
what's great is his boss goes, yeah, go. because his
he was
sales
working,
Yeah.
right. His
Yeah.
sales probably go up.
Oh.
He comes back all energized.
That's cool. He did it
Yeah.
on the clock.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
on the clock.
Yeah, they all do, and they, we set up there a lot, so they know us, and
Yeah.
the manager there, she's been in once or twice
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
So she goes, go, because it also, it takes 5 minutes maybe in total, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's not a big deal.
And
Yeah.
a big shout out to our old pal Kyle McClary, who
Yes,
was just
Kyle.
walking by on the sidewalk. And Arjan's standard pitch to strangers on the street is, "So, are you ready?" And they're like, "What? You ready for an ice bath?" And Kyle's like, "Yeah, I think I am."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's my standard thing is, no is, if you say no, that means maybe. If people say maybe, I'm taking that as a yes. And yes is yes, of course.
That's
Welcome
So-
to Arjan's TED Talk on consent.
Yes.
Yes.
But from a sales standpoint, right? I don't know the word no. I
Right.
mean, there's just no such thing. If you're talking to me, it's a yes.
Right, you're going
If you
in.
if I'm
Yep.
looking at the back of your head, it's still
A
that's
maybe.
kind of a maybe. But when
running
I don't
away.
have you in my eyesight anymore, then it's done. But yeah, if you're
Well,
talking
No,
to me, it's a-
no just means yes, but I need a little more time.
Exactly.
There we go.
It's all
That's
in the how you say no, right?
Well, let's be clear. We're not. No means no, people.
Yeah, no means no.
No,
No
means
means
no.
no.
Oh, that's right. We're in America. No
Right.
means no.
For now.
No.
Um,
No means not yet. Not yet.
So that was good. We had a lot of people. We had a lot of maybes.
Oh, and there was the fire department was there
Oh yeah. What
right
happened with
before I
that?
set up.
I drove up, and all I could see were flashing lights, an ambulance, a fire truck, and various other miscellaneous emergency vehicles, and I could see the Muddy Gnomes trailer as well. And I'm like,
Here we go.
Jesus, Arjan, what have you done?
I think we've
What
had
now?
more events where the cops show up than events that they don't.
Right.
So
But I talked to the firemen, and they were interested in having us come over one
Great.
time and do an event with them. So that would be good.
Well, they have
That'd be
those
fun.
big hoses. They could fill your bucket very quickly.
that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Am I in your shot?
Not
I
now,
can't
but if
see
you
it.
lean that way.
But if
you
I
are.
lean this way, I'm in your
Yes,
shot.
right there.
Yeah.
You're in it. Now you're out.
Now you're good. Yeah, you got it.
Well, you could start a trend of every fire station start
Oh,
having
yes,
an
a
ice bath.
competition.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
That and
we're getting there.
yeah, and the calendar.
I mean, if there's any group of people
Boy,
that should enjoy
calendar.
getting into an ice bath, it would
Yes.
be firefighters.
Exactly.
You would think. We should
Exactly.
show up when there's a fire.
Yeah, especially after a fire.
Right.
Yeah. And the victims can go in there too quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get them
Yeah,
therapy.
that's a good plan.
Okay.
Seems a
I'm going to write that down.
tad opportunistic, but we'll go with it.
Chris,
That's my
you
whole
gotta
life.
not move this way.
What?
You keep moving in front of the camera.
Look, there are 18 cameras in here. One of them's going to pick you up.
No, but that's the most important one because that one's aimed at me.
Maybe
I'm
if
not
I-
saying the back of your head isn't beautiful. That's
thank
not what I'm saying.
Haircut by
Denise.
Denise Bouchard.
Denise
Yes,
Bouchard.
Denise.
And
Denise came down too.
Denise came down, and speaking of Denise Bouchard, my cold fact actually came from her. So
Ooh.
Denise, who we've spoken about before, has her own Muddy Gnomes ice bath set up on her deck. Now, it
yeah,
is
that's a
starting
good-
to get warmer here in Vermont. Yes, there was a frost this morning, but it's going to make it to 60 degrees. So how to keep your ice bath
That's right.
cold
That's right.
in the warmer months? Well, I will drop this in, but Denise found these amazing things on Amazon.
We're gonna.
Okay.
They're gonna be.
Got it.
They are called ice bath bags. They're basically large capacity bathtub freezer water bags. So apparently they each hold like 20 gallons, and you
Yeah.
fill them up
Oh,
and
yeah,
put them in your
okay.
deep freeze, and then throw them in your ice bath.
Nice.
A couple of them for $12.
We have to test that out though.
Yeah, we
Well,
do.
she's tested it out.
Well,
it's
we're
Denise
gonna-
approved.
It's Denise approved. Then it has to be good. If it's Denise approved,
It has the Bouchard
Denise
seal.
Bouchard approved.
It's got the Bouchard
right.
seal of approval. But it sounds like a reasonable idea. She
Yeah.
she has 2 sets of them. She refreezes them every day.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great way to use a lot of electricity
Right.
to.
I mean, you're using it one way or the other if
Yeah,
the
if you
ice
put
is
a-
coming out.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's check it out.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other cold facts? Rodney, do you have a cold fact?
And I just heard this. Did you know John Wilkes Booth? John Wilkes Booth
Mm-hmm.
was the first American actor with a headshot.
No shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he assassinated?
No, he was the
Oh, a
assassinator.
headshot.
Oh, he
There
was
we
the
go.
assassinator.
I got it.
Yeah. Okay.
It took me a few seconds. I'm really disappointed.
Yeah.
Wow.
a good
Okay.
one.
That is an ice cold fact.
It's a nice color.
Right
Really
there.
is. Yes.
So,
Yes.
Rodney Norman,
Ah, Rodney.
comedian,
Finally, we're talking about me.
raconteur,
All this bullshit about ice baths. Fuck that.
Santa impersonator, gnome model,
No, as we say, Santa helper.
Santa's helper.
Okay, yeah.
Santa is helper.
And we found a picture of you
Associate
as
Santa's-
Batman, too.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Oh yes,
Yeah, many
that
times.
makes the rounds about once every 2 years,
Yeah.
and for about the next month, I will be receiving that in my messages over.
that?
Yes, that very same picture.
But it's not you, is it?
It's not
No.
me, but like I
wow.
said, I'm tagged in that photo consistently, continuously all
Right.
day
It's a
for
good
at least
one.
a month, and
Yeah.
then it'll just disappear, and then in 2 years, somebody will discover it again and say, "Hey, is this you?" And,
Yeah.
and the cycle begins once again.
Hey,
Awesome.
Whatever. Publicity is publicity.
I
That's right.
randomly came
Right.
across it. Somebody else. And I'm like, wait a moment.
Wait a
So,
moment.
so you are a Connecticut-based comedian, and
Yes, sir.
I know from the voluminous research I did yesterday afternoon on Google.
Redger.
Actually, it wasn't Google; it was DuckDuckGo because I care about my privacy.
Oh, there you go.
Are we getting paid by them? Because if not,
I'll bleep it out.
okay.
Duck, duck, bleep.
It
Sorry.
rhymes with fuck blow. I was able
Yeah,
to.
focus, Chris.
Where's the dog? Whenever the dog's in the room, my focus goes like, "There's a puppy." I found some great routines of yours. People should check them out. We can.
We'll link.
We can
Yeah.
link to them. So when did you has this been a pursuit of yours for decades or?
Yeah, well, I was, pursuing acting before, and my wife kept telling me I should do stand-up because the acting gigs just weren't happening because, one time I went into an audition, and then before I even said a word, you go in, there'll be like a table, and there are a bunch of people who stare at you with no emotion whatsoever, and then you do your thing, and then you leave, and then you never hear anything from them ever again.
Oh, Chris, you might know a little about
I know a little about that.
Yeah. I walked in, 4 people sitting there, and before I even said a word, the lady looks at me and goes, "Oh, no, I'm sorry. Your ears, one's bigger than the other. Your nose is crooked. There's something weird going with your eyes. You're not going to work. Please, thank you for being here. I'm sure you're very talented, and I wish you luck in your career."
Wow.
Whoa.
I was like, okay.
Thank you.
But as somebody once said, you're a great character actor, but we don't need you until you're 40.
Yeah.
And so anyway, my wife just, she kept pushing me to do stand-up. And so finally I got the courage and the gumption to do it and got a couple chuckles out of a live audience and thought, this is it.
Nice.
This is what I'm doing forever.
Sweet.
So it's been a blast.
That's amazing.
That's great.
But
I-
and you started pre-beard, right?
Yes, I was clean shaven until
Yeah.
just a few years ago. Well, I've kind of, in my 20s, I tried to grow the beard.
Right.
And it came in splotchy and
Yeah.
different colors. It looked like a calico cat with the mange dyed on my face. It just looked horrible.
Yeah, that's an interesting
And then
visual
about-
right there.
Not ideal.
And then once I hit my 30s, then I could start growing a real nice
Right.
beard. And but didn't really appreciate it till a few years ago. Now I'm digging it.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks great. And you fit right in with the Muddy Gnomes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You know,
I
we're all
found
about the beard.
I found a set from not that many years ago where you were completely clean shaven and almost like in a suit. And honest to God, I think it was a dry bar set.
Yeah, dry bars.
And if I had seen that, oh, for fuck's sake, remember that episode where it was all about keeping your head out of Arjan's shot? If somebody had showed
and you're
me
leaning on the fucking table.
if somebody had not, we're earning our fucking explicit rating this time.
The hell, Chris?
Drown you like a puppy.
Well, it was too much about Rodney. I wanted to focus more on me again.
Yeah,
so
let's get it back to Arjan. No, but honestly, if somebody had shown me that, I would not have known it was you, because you look very different.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Without the beard, I look like George W. Bush.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's right.
That's actually right.
Yeah, you're right.
And of course, with the beard, I look like George W. Bush just gave up.
Right.
But it was funny when I first filmed that. They told me that afterwards they were probably never going to release it because they had too many white guys in the lineup.
Jeez.
Really?
And so I thought, okay, it'll never see the light of day. So then they asked me to do another one.
Right.
And so I did it, I had the full beard and everything. And some of the jokes are the same. But they're they've grown.
Right.
They've
evolved.
They've evolved.
Yeah.
And but I never thought that first one would ever get shared. And but because all of a sudden I had a following, they were like, oh, let's get the other one out too. So
right. Yeah.
So it was kind of a.
That's cool.
That was one that was never supposed to be shared with anyone. So
it was a good set. You were building momentum, and you really had them. I thought. What do I know?
Well, it was fun. Well,
yeah,
very talented. Audiences love and adore me. So
I do. Now, when did you start your character bit that you do?
He's based loosely on my grandfather, who was an alcoholic.
Okay.
And he used to pull me and my cousin aside and just tell us these weird stories and stuff, and then kick us out of the house. And I'd been working on stories about him and stuff, and trying to decide exactly how to approach it. And then one day I was watching a friend of mine do these he was trying to become an Instagram influencer.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
And, life coach kind of guy.
Right.
So he was always giving these wonderful inspirational messages.
Yeah.
But the only problem was that he was a really good-looking dude who worked out, had a perfect tan.
Right.
He was married to a real hot wife that was also a doctor. So they had all this kinds of money. They lived in a mansion. He drives a Ferrari convertible. I mean, he's just, his life is perfect.
He's Tony Robbins, basically.
Basically, he's just a beautiful man. Just,
right.
Very well connected,
yeah.
well adjusted,
Right.
But no one connects with this guy.
No.
You know what I mean? He's there giving these inspirational messages.
Right. Nobody relates.
It was up for 3 days, had 8 views, and I think 4 of them were probably him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That sounds very familiar
sounds
with the Muddy Gnomes.
Quite familiar.
you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, we know exactly.
And I'm watching this. I'm going, he's giving an inspirational message. It's a good message. But no one's paying attention.
Right.
Because people just don't connect to
Right.
It's like, what does this guy know about me?
Yeah, right, exactly.
And that was when it just hit me. That's it. My drunk grandfather is the world's worst life coach.
Yeah. Which makes him the best.
Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I would connect to him.
And so I started working on it and done a few videos, and they did fairly well. But then I just, life got going. And then eventually, COVID came along.
Right.
All my work got canceled, so I had nothing else to do. So I just started making videos.
Right.
And at that point in time, the beard had fully come in, and the hair. And, And it the character just sort of, everything together just came together. And
that's awesome.
It started blowing
Yeah,
up. I
that's
had,
awesome.
one video went just mega viral, and well,
Here
Here
you
I
are.
am. This
Here
is-
you are at
this
the
is-
Muddy Gnomes podcast. It all accumulated to this.
there it is. This is the pinnacle of the career. This
You
is-
you have arrived.
the trajectory has brought me to the basement of this nondescript building somewhere in Vermont.
So, Rodney, where are your favorite audiences, or can you?
Oh, that's a
Where
good
do you
question.
do well geographically,
Oh,
or where do you
everywhere.
do?
So
Everywhere.
far. Well, I've done Oregon. I'm really popular in
Oh,
Oregon.
yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Northwest. I just did a run through Montana. We sold out almost every show.
Oh,
Oh,
fantastic.
That's great.
That's awesome.
So it's I just
Yeah.
I
That's great.
got people everywhere. It's kind of I'm really big on the Isle of Man.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I've got a following
In the
there.
UK.
Yeah,
Wow.
all over.
Have you been?
No, I haven't, but we're
Grammy-
planning on it.
Yeah,
I just
let's go.
got
Let's do it.
I just got my passport this last year,
Okay,
so
okay,
so I can
good.
start traveling international and start doing
Sweet.
that stuff. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, I've got quite a following in Australia and South Africa. And,
That's great. Those are
you
all
know,
great
I'm
destinations.
really popular in the English-speaking countries.
Because
Yes.
they're all alcoholics.
Yeah.
So they connect
Right.
to the grandfather.
I just went to your website,
Mm-hmm.
rodneynorman.com.
Well,
Yes.
thank you for
And you-
mentioning RodneyNorman.com.
Tens of people will go to your website
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Expect traffic.
Tens of people will be going to RodneyNorman.com.
Yep.
Yes.
That would be fantastic
Yes.
if
Right.
people went
You're
to
right.
RodneyNorman.com.
That's
People will be going to rodneynorman.com. No, you've got gigs out through like the end of the year. Look at you.
Yeah, we're starting to pick up Christmas gigs and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
In
So
3 days, if you're in Westfield, Massachusetts, that's a private event. You
Oh.
can't go to
Yes.
that.
Oh, can we crash it?
Can you tell us
Ooh.
what it is?
I love crashing. parties.
it's for a group of Air Force
Gentlemen.
gentlemen. It's
Gentle
an
ladies.
awards assembly for
Oh,
and
pay to
stuff.
see that.
Oh.
Should be fun.
Yeah.
On the 27th in Portsmouth, New Hampshire.
Yes,
Ooh.
Oh, that's
McHugh's
good.
Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Inside the Roundabout Cafe. Free parking.
Whoa.
Okay.
Free parking.
Let's go.
And that's right by the hot dog place. It is so amazing.
Really
Yeah.
nice. Now, do you enjoy traveling a lot for this, or
I
you
do.
go like,
Well,
yeah.
I hated it years and years ago. I was on the road for like 6 weeks,
Right.
and I was miserable because I was like, I got a wife and kids that I really enjoy
Yeah.
being with, and here
But
I'm
you don't
sitting in
enjoy
this
them
hotel
anymore?
room,
Yeah.
with shag rug carpeting with
Yeah.
all kinds of who knows what is
Right.
in it, and I'm just like, what am I doing with myself?
Right.
And so back then, I just decided that comedy was just going to be a thing I was going to pursue, but I wasn't going to be on the road. I didn't want to miss my kids
Right.
growing up. So I was,
Yeah.
comedy's just going to be a hobby until they turn 18, and then I'll really focus on it. And,
Right.
if something comes along before that, great. But
Yeah.
for the most part, just having fun with it. And,
Right.
And so that's how I treated it. And once the kids were all out of the house, I started going full on.
And now it's really
And-
popping. Yeah.
Well, then COVID hit and derailed
Oh, right.
everything.
Oh, God, yeah.
Right. Right.
And then, it turns out just making dumb videos in my backyard, which I could have done the whole time,
Right. Right. Who knew?
was the secret to the whole thing. So,
Yeah.
but now, being able to travel, we're pretty much full time. I'm hardly
Yeah.
ever home. I come home to vacation,
Right.
Right. But my wife's with me. So my
Yeah.
whole reason for wanting to go home is with me. So
right.
it's like,
exactly. Yeah. You're okay. Yeah.
But-
now, where are your kids?
I've got two live in Utah, and then I have two others that still live with us in Connecticut, but mostly just to take care of the house where we're gone. 'Cause-
Yeah. Now, do you, for instance, specifically pick out gigs in Utah just so you can
Oh,
see
just
them?
wherever I can. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
really good. I'm in with the Wise Guys comedy clubs. I helped
Okay.
start the club. I was the house MC for the first couple of years that it was open, and
Oh, that's awesome.
I quit my job to help run the place and
Right.
work and everything. And so very good friends with the owner, and so I work the Wise Guys clubs quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I'm there a lot, but yeah, I have a lot of connections all over the
Yeah.
West Coast. But a lot of my stuff
Cool.
is just set up by fans who are like, "Hey,
Just
why don't you
want
come
you there.
here?" And I go,
Yeah.
"What do you got to?" You got a
Yeah.
place that'll hold 50 people? I'll
Yeah.
show up and do
yeah,
it.
yeah, right.
And so we'll go in, and those
Yeah.
are really some of my favorite shows. You know,
Yeah.
it's just literally somebody's front yard, and we
Right.
set it up, and
You just have fun.
we just
Yeah,
have fun.
that's
So
awesome.
I'm not.
Yeah. Cool.
Other comedians want to do clubs and colleges and theaters, and I'm like, whatever. Somebody's backyard,
Doesn't
their
matter.
tool shed.
Yeah.
We'll sit around the pool. I don't care. Let's do it.
Well, that's the whole thing now with the internet, right? It doesn't really matter where you are because it's going to get out there anyway.
Oh
right?
yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah.
even if
And-
you are like you say, if you're with 50 people, if they all share it, then
Yeah.
you're the same as if you were at a
Yeah.
500 people gig.
yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
that's great. I like that.
Hey, Ronnie, May 25th, you're back in our neighborhood. You're in Bridgewater, Vermont.
What?
Yes.
I didn't
What?
know there
Over at
was
the
a comedy
There
club
is a
in-
comedy club.
Yeah.
over there.
You're in
That place-
Bridgewater.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
comedy place there.
Is it in,
Right by
is it
the-
in the mill?
It's by where Ramunto's.
Yeah,
is right in there.
that's even
Woolen Mill
smaller
Comedy
than
Club.
White
Yeah.
River Junction. I don't think you can get a town smaller than Bridgewater.
No.
No,
Is it
but
sold out?
Long Trail Brewery's
I'm
right
not
there.
sure. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
cool.
Long
when
Trail's
is
there.
that?
Yeah.
May 25th, day after my birthday. I just
cool.
mentioned
Oh,
that.
just
you know.
mention
That's
that.
pretty soon.
Okay.
In case you
Okay,
want to,
that's awesome.
In case I want,
in case you want to hone your ukulele skills.
nobody can be as good as you, Chris.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right,
I think we mentioned Rodney Norman.
RodneyNorman.com.
RodneyNorman.com.
And we can link it.
RodneyNorman.com.
Like no
Link
problem.
what?
Yeah.
We can link his website. Like I
In,
can.
What is his website?
RodneyNorman.com.
What is his or what is ours?
What is his website?
RodneyNorman.com.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
RodneyNorman.com.
I just wanted to hear you say
Yeah.
RodneyNorman.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Jesus,
didn't know you.
Staci.
I
Why
know,
you
I was
being
like,
so-
why are you yelling at me?
What?
Wait.
What?
Are we talking about RodneyNorman.com?
Arjan,
Yes.
you drove all the way to New York City in the booby truck.
Yes.
Have
I
you
did.
seen the booby truck?
Uh,
Did you see it out there?
Is that the decorated
Yeah,
one?
The decorated
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
On
So
the-
one of the gnomes. So the gnomes are, as you see there, it's,
Oh yes, the
it's sort of me and Staci, but the guy that drew the gnomes for the side made Staci's
I think he
boobs.
used Chris's
Voluptuous.
He used Chris's
Voluptuous.
and
boobs.
enchanting, voluptuous and enchanting.
Yeah, he used Chris's
But you
boobs in my
cannot-
face.
Yeah, they heard you the first time. Thank you.
No, Chris's boobs.
Chris's boobs,
At
RodneyNorman.com.
RodneyNorman.com.
All right,
all right,
so
all right.
so I went to New York. We went to just for vacation, just have fun. And whenever I go to New York, there's this one barber shop where I like to go because they sort of specialize in beards. So the first time I went there, this guy cut my hair, and he was really nice, and he became a Muddy Gnomes fan, and he's following us and stuff like that. Bowden, he's from the Ukraine actually.
Oh, wow.
And so every time I go to New York City, which is not that often, I make sure that I go and have a haircut with him. So this time I thought, you know what? It'd be great to go get a haircut from Bowden and do it while I'm in an ice bath. Because it'll give me a chance to set up the ice bath on the sidewalk of New York City
Ah,
and then have him give me a haircut. And so I DM'd him, and he said, yeah, that's great, but just check with the owner of the store if he's okay with it. And
Yeah.
they have like 5 or 6 stores, Made Man Barbershop in New York City. They have like 5 or 6 stores in New York. So I DM'd the owner, and he loved the idea. He's very much into cold exposure himself.
Cool.
So I went down there and parked the truck. I didn't have the trailer with me. Parked the truck, set up the ice bath, and I had a hose with me that I figured I'd connect the hose and then I'd fill the ice bath, right? But it's New York City, it's not Vermont, so there's no spigots outside or anything.
yeah.
So I go inside the barbershop. There's no spigots there, nothing, just
Faucets.
regular faucets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going, this is interesting. So I had to use a bucket and the faucet from where they wash your hair in the basin, and I had to fill the whole thing
That's how you did that?
bucket by bucket. I'm going, I can't do anything else. It's going to take me an hour probably to
Oh,
fill
dear.
that puppy. So it took me a while.
That's a
finally-
workout.
Yeah.
That was interesting. Finally got it filled. Put a lot of ice in there. Bowden cut my hair while I was in the ice bath. Not completely, but for like I was in like 6-7 minutes or something, which was awesome.
Yeah.
and it was great stuff. And then Bowden went in himself, so I got out, and then he took an ice bath, which was great. And there was another barber there, Mir, a young guy, and he wanted to go in too. And Bowden did great. You know, he came in, he calmed down, he stayed in for like a minute and a half, I think. And then Mir went in, and it took him a while to get used to it. He went in, got out. Went in, got out. Went in, I can't do this, got out. And it took him on the fifth try.
Wow.
He finally went in. He finally calmed down, because he was more like, you know, a lot of people think it's a hurrah thing, right? Oh, I'm going to be tough and I'm going to do it. But it's the exact opposite, right? Like you said, it's more like a zen
yeah.
calming down. So finally, he calmed himself down, and he stayed in for a minute or so.
And
But
you
it
know
took
what?
him-
I think it's
took him a
harder.
while.
I think it's harder to get out and then get back in. And then
Yeah.
that actually takes a lot of guts,
Yeah.
because you already know now what you're going to get into.
Yeah.
You know, but
Yeah.
you get out and you're like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
going to go do it
You've
again.
already been
Yeah.
through the worst part. Now you're going to go through
Yeah,
that
exactly.
again.
Right.
Yeah.
Over 5 times.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
So we were at this hotel, right, and which was really nice. And normally when I'm in a hotel, I try to take an ice bath in the hotel. And this had a really nice bathroom, big bathtub. So I went down to the lobby and I said, well, can we get some ice up? He goes, well, how much ice do you need? I said, well,
100 pounds or
about
so.
100 pounds or so. He goes, oh, we have these little buckets for ice. I'm going, yeah, how many of those do you need? I go, well, probably 100 of those. That's not really going to work. So they weren't really, so that didn't go, that didn't happen.
I would imagine you're going to set up some flags, because if I worked at a hotel and somebody said we want to fill up the tub with ice, I was thinking, I think they have an illegal organ harvesting operation going on here somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. They need to chill the body.
We got to keep our meth lab cold.
Yeah.
So how much, from your experience, how
Yeah.
much ice to water ratio do you need for the proper?
Well,
Cold fact.
Cold fact.
Cold fact.
our view on that matter is, if the amount of ice in the ice bath does not scare you, you
There's-
need more ice.
Okay.
So I would say about, it depends. It depends on what water you start with, what temperature, but
And the heat
50-50 to start with is a good ratio.
Mhm.
Well,
But
what do you-
that's a lot. We like a lot of ice. Because
What do you
also-
put in one of our ice baths? You put 80 pounds of ice in there?
Yeah,
It's a lot of ice.
it's a lot of ice.
And what's the capacity of the muddy?
But
Gnomes.
yeah, that's an excellent question.
I
think it's
really
like,
don't know.
I really don't know.
90 gallons, maybe? Something like that?
You just pulled
90,
that out of
100.
your
Yeah.
bottom.
I did.
I'm going to agree
Yes,
with it.
but we have 2 senior members here of the Muddy Gnomes that are agreeing with it, so
Yeah, that's right.
it's official.
Yeah, that's how that works, definitely.
But you don't need that much ice, because you only need to cool it down.
Just
if
enough
it-
to make it really cold.
Yeah, if it's
uncomfortable.
they say anything under 50 degrees is fine, so it doesn't need to be. But for what we're doing, we like to have a lot of ice in it, because the visual effect, is kind of a mental thing. And if we film everything, it's nice if there's a lot of ice in there, because oftentimes you see these videos of people doing an ice bath and there's no ice in it. The water is cold, but you're just looking at somebody taking a bath.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we like a lot of ice.
We do.
Because it's better.
And I aim for 42 degrees.
Yeah, that's a good temperature.
Yeah.
Anything
It's
under
physical.
anything under 50 is really
Yeah.
really fine. Ours with that much ice that what you went in, I'm guessing it's like 35 degrees. So it's cold.
Oh, it was definitely
it was nippy.
it was a little nippy.
Clearly nippy. Yeah, again, you did really good though.
I mean, you talk about shrinkage. I have an innie now.
Yeah.
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 I'm
Yeah.
still,
Chris
I'm still
did.
looking for mine. So
We could.
finally today we wanted to touch on a milestone birthday that
Oh.
happened last week.
Yes.
Ah.
Our very own Staci Baker, the
Amazing
You can
braided lady.
the amazing braided lady, turned 60.
6-0.
60.
Yeah,
Six-
Right? Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
thank you, Rodney.
You look amazing.
Thank you. God, that's so sweet. I mean, you guys say it, I don't believe it, but
I
Rodney
wouldn't-
says it, I believe it.
I wouldn't give you a day over 59 and a half.
Oh, thank you,
You're welcome.
asshole.
What a dick. You and Rodney want to take another minute?
Yeah, we're vibing here.
You're vibing there. So, I was struggling as to, what to get the woman who has everything. And
And you succeeded in giving me something that I will treasure for the rest of my life.
well, until the apocalypse, when all recorded media is wiped out. But until then,
the
It's
entire internet.
emblazoned in my brain.
so what did I get you?
Chris, it was, I almost can't describe it.
It is.
It's
not
almost indescribable.
It is indescribable. yeah.
Okay, and
Especially the non-censored version of it.
the non-censored. I mean, I'm sure I could sell that for quite a pretty penny, but I won't do that.
Right, so what happened?
So, go ahead.
You want me to tell?
I do,
Yeah.
because it's
So I basically I wanted to combine things that Staci and I love to give her an experience for her birthday. And during the pandemic, you took to making videos in your backyard. Which I would say is pretty constructive. I took to learning the ukulele.
also constructive.
And like 3 years later, the one song I can reliably play is "Happy Birthday," which is pretty useful sometimes.
Very solid.
So I
solid.
thought, how can I jazz that up? So I decided to do it in my ice bath. So I sent Staci a video of me climbing into the ice bath, sinking down.
Into the Muddy Gnomes portable ice bath, available at muddygnomes.com.
/ Rodney Norman.
Rodney Norman.
And
90-gallon capacity.
so they say. And I put a little cut in there because there were actually 3 takes where I screwed it up. So now
Which are
I've been
gold.
in.
They're
I've
gold.
been in there for a while, and I said on video, I said, I have got one more in me, and I made it all the way through. Then I put the uke down, and I went under the water, and then burst up out of the water.
In slow motion.
In slow motion.
With this beastly roar. I mean, you've never been more manly.
Yes, my boobs have never looked better. Wearing only a gold lamé thong.
My heart.
Yeah.
That's quite the visual right
I
there.
It was so amazing.
I had also, and then I waggled my butt at the end of
Yes,
the
the
video.
wiggle was the best. But
I did. I checked in with my wife Amy before. I was essentially sending nudies of myself to another woman, so I checked in with my wife before.
If that was okay.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Like
No, it's a
this
good
is
thing
what
to
I made
do.
for Staci.
Yeah.
And her reaction was like, "That's great, but do you have to wiggle your butt?" I'm like,
yes.
Yes, I do. She's like,
Absolutely.
"Okay, you do you." But before I sent it to Staci, I sent her a little note by text saying, "Before I send this to you, you have to promise that this will never be uploaded to. This will never be on the internet."
And never give it to Arjan.
And never give it to Arjan. We did, however, strike a compromise, and I cut a version of it
Yes.
where the end is censored, so you can get the whole uke thing and me coming out of the water, but it cuts off before the money shot or
Yeah.
the lack of money shot.
The twerkless version.
Yeah,
Yes.
the clean version.
Which is not as good, but still,
Yeah,
it's for the imagination.
it is.
It's the best I've ever received.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Staci. Are you ready for your birthday present? Here it comes. All right, that is it for episode 6. Big thanks to Mr. Rodney Norman for joining us.
Yes,
for this
Rodney,
episode.
that was amazing. Woo.
It was great to have you, and congrats on your very first ice bath. Come back often, and we'll see you May 25th at
Bridgewater.
the Chuckle Hut in Bridgewater. What's it really called?
The Woolen Mills Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Woolen Mills Comedy Club.
Get
Chuck-
naked with Rodney.
May
It's in
25th.
a-
Shrink your dick with Rodney.
Yeah.
It's in an amazing broom closet.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
That was fantastic. We're looking forward to it.
We're looking forward to it. In the meantime, make sure to check us out on all our socials, mainly Instagram and TikTok at Muddy Gnomes. Also, get the full visual on YouTube of episode
Yes.
6.
That's right.
Check that out. And
Don't forget,
what?
RodneyNorman.com.
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 That's it for episode 6. We will see you next time.
Let's go! Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.